Hey, Phantomaniacs! Welcome to the spooky season. Hope everybody's having a creepy, scary time. This is the newest unboxing here on the Needless Things YouTube channel, and I have just happened to get lucky at a Walmart, which never happens. This is the Walmart exclusive Terrifier Art the Clown Blood-Soaked edition from NECA. I didn't even know quite what I had found when I found it. Pre-orders are, I guess, sold out on Walmart's website unless they're going up again. But to find it in store when they're taking pre-orders for it on the website is pretty awesome. It's not something that often happens in my case. I don't usually find stuff early, really. So this was very cool to see. I also found the $24.99 NECA section. They had that loaded up with things that I either already have or don't need, but it was cool to see it. I'm very interested to know the story behind that. But the story now is Art the Clown. Now, I am a fan of the first Terrifier movie. I thought it was just outrageous and entertaining and crazy. It's nuts. It's completely bonkers. The second movie I thought was very self-indulgent and too long, way too long. And then the third movie came back around to entertaining and crazy. So I would like to see a different cut of the second movie. And then the third movie, I thought, well, the third movie also could have been shorter. But overall, I like the idea of Art the Clown. I think Damien Leone is very fortunate that he's got an awesome name, because if it was like Frank Tucker's Terrifier, would it have come as far? I don't know. And that's no offense to any Frank Tuckers out there, but I think you have to acknowledge Frank Tucker is not quite as cool and cinematic a name as Damien Leone. So we've got the standard NECA packaging, tons of accessories, a blood-soaked clown, possibly one of the most disturbing interiors we've ever seen from a NECA product. Now, I had not planned to purchase... and we've got the credits on the bottom of the box, which I always appreciate from NECA. I had not planned to purchase any more Art the Clowns, really. There's a review on this channel of the Trick or Treat Studios 1/6 scale Art the Clown, and it's fantastic and really the only Art the Clown I thought I would ever need. I had no intention of buying any of the figure versions, like smaller figure, sculpted figure versions. But, and I recommend you go check out that review. Of course, those ad dollars don't roll in on their own. But the first time I saw this one, and again, I wasn't paying that close attention because I didn't plan to buy any of these. But grotesque red tinted backdrop that may make for an okay thumbnail. It's got a pretty flat finish on it, so this may work for a thumbnail. I would appreciate that. It just didn't seem necessary. But when I saw this one, I was like, oh, a bloody art. That's something very different, because the 1/6 scale one is not. And it did kind of pique my interest, but I didn't look at it too closely because I knew I really wasn't planning on getting any more of him. His basic look, I mean, he looks the same in all three movies, which will not stop NECA from releasing multiple versions, nor should it. Because, of course, the accessories are where it's at now with toys. Toy photography has both... This is a tricky topic, but I'm just going to go ahead and say it. Since we're reviewing a gonzo outrageous thing, I'm going to go ahead and say something outrageous. Toy photography has both bolstered and ruined the hobby. And when I say that, I mean we are now burdened with billions of unnecessary accessories and higher prices on figures that otherwise would just come with one or two things. And be, a little cheaper. Maybe not significantly cheaper, but a little cheaper. So that's my take on that. But this is nuts. For somebody who, if you've watched any of my videos, I complain frequently and at length about my drawers full of accessories I don't use. So this purchase really makes no sense for me. This is the most accessories I think I've ever seen with a standard price figure. We have got, I'm going to do a count, which I don't normally do. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 26 pieces that are separate from the figure. And it may, maybe there are others that have had more, but that's a lot. That's a lot of stuff. Considering he has 2 hands, that is technically 24 more things than this figure really needs to come with. But I get it. It's the toy photography. All right. Let's dump it. Oh, everything came... Oh my gosh, 27 accessories. I forgot about the trash bag. Which is, by the way, though, is great. And at least you'll have somewhere to store all of this nonsense. Now, I believe everything in here is specifically... Oh, so gross. Specifically from the first movie. Because, like I said, there's no reason NECA can't and won't do, a second, a 2 and a 3 with completely different accessories, or maybe a 2-pack with Art and the whatever the little girl clown is named. Does she have a name? I can't remember. I don't. Here's one of the things about getting older: my brain simply does not store trivia like that the way that it used to. Okay, this is pretty cool. We'll take a look at that in a second. But I like the design here, although I am curious to see... Whatever. All right, let's take a look at Art, the star of the show. First of all, that portrait, the default portrait. Again, this is a blood-spattered variant. There is a standard variant. And in most cases, I would prefer the standard version. The back, no blood at all. But honestly, that doesn't bother me because all of his business is up front. Like, I'm okay with the back being pristine. He faces his carnage. Now, I do dislike that this joint is just missing red here. But with the way that NECA produces things, there is always paint loss in those joints anyway. As you can see, I just moved that, and we're gonna have a little flake right here of black from where there's black paint on top of the black plastic. That's just how NECA does things. And being as I am not a toy designer or engineer or whatever, these elbow joints are very tight, by the way. I'm feeling that old NECA nervousness moving them. That's just how NECA does it. And especially considering this is a variant where you would have had to, I guess, do that in red plastic to not have that. Well, now, and look, we're losing that red right there anyway. Yeah, that's just how that is. And I'll bend that arm to cover it up. Got those fingerless gloves. I like the randomness. The blood doesn't look particularly calculated. And I didn't stop to compare. I was in kind of a hurry. I wasn't expecting to buy anything in Walmart. I was kind of just doing a run through to see if they had the new 2012 Ninja Turtles from NECA, which I don't need to be buying, but if I find them in a store, I will. So I was just kind of doing a run through, not expecting to find anything. So I didn't stop. They had maybe 6 or 8 of these on the shelf, which surprised me. Sorry to clean some paint flakes away. So this is a soft piece here. He's got his little pom-poms on the front. Let me move back out a little bit. He's got the pom-poms on the front. He does have body articulation. He's got an upper abdominal joint and a lower abdominal joint. So he's got a pretty good degree of movement there, although that soft overlay does kind of pop him back into place. So I don't know how much well, that's how that works. Oh boy, Art, where'd your face go? Oh my gosh, where did his face go? Oh, there it is. That thing traveled a distance. Okay. Now, did I hit that the wrong way, or does that pop out that easily? Yeah, it's definitely just friction holding it in. I think it comes out a little more easily than I would like it to. So we've got multiple face plates. And they all look great. I with this kind of exaggerated character, I would imagine it's a little easier to capture a portrait. So let's swap those out and take a look at them. I mean, this one is pretty great. I also like that they're different degrees of blood on the portraits. Ah, that one's so good. I'm going to use one that's different from the 1/6 scale art that I have. That one's really good. This one, honestly, maybe a little too scary. These seem to plug into place a little better. Like, that is terrifying, appropriately. And then finally, the sort of, oh, it's sad. A little sad art. Aw. So if you see, the face does go in. I'll show you what I'm talking about. See how it sort of goes in that rim. So it's not sitting flush to it. It plugs into it. And the other portraits do seem to get in there a little better. Let's put that one back in. And maybe I just didn't push it in enough. No, this one just doesn't seat as deeply as the other ones do. That's interesting. So let me put this one on just to avoid having the face fall out anymore. You can even hear a little creak, maybe, when that one slots into place better. That might be my portrait of choice. Then we've got, no double jointed anything, which I am good with, because Art is not Spider-Man. As I often say, not everybody needs to be Spider-Man. He's got the wear on the shoes. What's interesting to me is this space between the sole of the shoe and the top of the shoe that you'd never notice in the movie, but is an interesting touch here. The ankles do feel like they're old NECA ankles with like a barbell between the foot and the, yeah, they are. You can see in there. Don't like that at all, because what that means is over time, you might do that NECA lean, and you're going to come home one day and he's going to be face down on the floor instead of standing on the shelf. And I guess one of the things you can do to avoid that is boil the feet, pop them off, put some furniture polish, or I like to use clear nail polish on those barbells, and then pop the feet back on. That'll tighten them up. Or you can just straight up glue them on in the right position if you want to. I realize that's crazy talk, but, we got to find solutions for these things. So proportionally, he looks great. Done a really nice job with his body shape and everything. About 7.5 inches with his little tiny hat. Let's take a look at the rest of the accessories. You've got the bloody brain. Well, no, it's just a brain. I thought it had some blood on it, but it is just a brain, which is, troubling enough as is. This could be, I do not have everything NECA's ever released, but this could be, oh man, I dropped the brain. Well, we'll just move on. Got a little doll, blood on the doll, which is nice to see because sometimes when they do a figure like this, they don't bother with the accessories. But these accessories are bloody as well, which is nice. That doll's got a little soft bonnet. Surprising. Got the absolutely disgusting head. Maybe I should have done a content warning. I didn't do a verbal one, but I think I might have to add a just a shot at the beginning. Absolutely horrifying, disgusting, terrifying, if you will. And it kind of looked like that scalp might pop open, but it does not appear to, which is fine. I don't need that. I've got an assortment of hands designed to interact with the accessories. We've got the extra delicate little tool hand because we do have a scalpel here. Here, I'll match these up since this is so specific. I'll go ahead and match these up, and we'll make sure these all work nicely. And you can see the scalpel has a little divot, so it should slide between those fingers pretty well. There you go. And that is in there securely. So that's very good. I think I have, I'm pretty sure this is what I have the 1/6 scale one using, so I won't be displaying him with that. And then we've got this. Oh, clearly that is for either. This was one of the big shocking moments of the movie because you think, horror movie rules tell us, oh, crazy slashers like this don't use pistols, but art does. So that works. And then also we've got this, which there was a decision that had to be made here, and I appreciate it. With the cord, what are you going to do? I've got a open sort of grasping hand for perhaps that. No, maybe not. I think this is just purely for gesturing. And then we've got this one, which I think may be for this. I don't know. We're at the point now where what we have is some C-grips. You've got a really tight C-grip. Well, two really tight C-grips for some of the smaller. Oh, does he not come with the little horn? Oh, that seems like an oversight. Let me double check. No, he does not come with the horn. Oh, that's a miss, I would say. Am I really? This is me complaining about a missing accessory in something that has far too many. So we've got the jigsaw, also bloody. Well, everything's bloody. I don't need to point that out. We've got our little axe, tomahawk type deal. Love the metallic paint that NECA uses. It just looks so good. A little tiny hatchet. Can you imagine? Look at that. Look at the way they did the little pry bar portion of that. It actually is, it's meant to be curved because that's what this is. It's a pry bar. with a blade and a hammer. What a great... Imagine, as much as I would love to visit NECA and just see everything, I would love to see their parts library for just Home Depot, stuff. They've done so many things. So many different... how many different giant butcher knives have they made? Because I don't think they're all the same. I'm sure some of them are. This one is horrible. The awl. Ugh. That's nasty. I think I would rather be sliced than pierced. And this nasty little bit of business. Look at that, just that little detail right there. And of course, the hammer. And then finally, well, not finally, because we still got to look at the trash bag, but the flail, which is just, this is where it just turns into, what is this sick, horrible thing that I'm watching? This might be what I gave him. I don't know. It's gonna be a tough decision. So here's the trash bag. We're gonna zoom back out a little bit. Here's the trash bag that is just trash bag material. What I like about how they've done it, though, is there's a piece in the bottom to make it have a shape, so it's not just flat. So you can play around with that. There we go. You can play around with that and kind of get a nice shape out of the trash bag, so it's not just this flat thing. And there you go. And I'm going to guess you can untie this and keep all of that stuff inside. I guess I got to do it, huh? If I'm going to do a review, I got to do a review. I just always am afraid of messing things up. So yeah, they've just got a double knot in here. It's got two long pieces, so that's helpful. And then, yeah, you can literally store everything in his trash bag, which is great. So there you go. Art the Clown, one of the new mascots of Halloween. Been around for a while now. It's crazy to think, was it the pandemic? Was it 2020 when the first one came out? I say been around for a while. 2020 seems like forever ago, even though it was just 5 years ago. But 3 movies since whenever the first one came out, whether it was 2020 or a little earlier. That's a pretty good pace. Whatever you think of the movies, kudos to Damien Leone for, doing the work, for not having years go by with no movie. I look at some of these people making movies now and I'm wondering, and I understand it's a challenge to make a movie, but if you've got a franchise deal, if movies number 2, 3, or whatever are happening, what level is your creativity if you're taking 3, 4, 5 years between movies? I just question that. And I realize I've never made a movie. I've never even been more than partially involved with making a movie. But I do question that quite a bit. So there you go. Art the Clown from NECA. I think it's great. It's disgusting. It's horrifying. It's a great Halloween find if you can get your hands on it. Well done, NECA. And variant-wise, like I said, this bothers me. I'm not going to lie. But I'll bend his arm and cover it up. And if you want to do a paint match or something, if you're of that talent, go for it. But for me, I'm very happy with this one. Well done. Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, share, tell your friends about Needless Things, and until next time, buy what you like. Oh, you know what else he could have come with? A pointing finger. He didn't have a pointing hand for the laugh. So I will say, get rid of a couple of these things. Give me the horn and the pointing hand. All right. Thanks for watching.
Smash that like button if you like Needless Things.